Vicki Hogarth, and welcome to Southwest Magazine. The St. Croix Theatre Company is putting on Murder by the Book, April 25th to 27th in St. Stephen and in St. Andrews, May 2nd to 4th. This play benefits both libraries in both communities. Here to tell us all about it is co-director Bert Deveau. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today, Bert.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what is Murder by the Book. I am imagining, because it benefits library in both St. Andrews and St. Stephen, that it has something to do with libraries?
It takes place in a library. It's a play within a play taking place in a library. It's a comedy. It's funny, very funny. It's really quite... you have to know your literature because there's a lot of literature, and you also have to know your detectives from books.
So references, I'm going to go to the immediately obvious, which would be Sherlock Holmes. Does he factor in any way?
Oh yeah, he's a character, and so is Miss Marple, and Poirot, and several different, we have one actor who plays a detective. Well, he's a cop. He's a little town cop. And there's been kind of a death in the library. And the cop is a small town. It's in a small town. And there's a one-car pileup and the police can't come.
Sounds about right.
One-car pileup, like, when you think about it, how do you have a one-car pileup? But that's, and then there's a death, supposedly, and it's all about this death.
Tell us a little bit, who is the author of this play, and why did it speak to you as a play worth putting on that would speak to our communities?
It's about small town. It's by Laura Teasdale, and it's sponsored by Louise Penny, who is one of Canada's, prime murder mystery writers. She actually edited the whole thing, and it's fun. It makes you laugh. You read it and you go, huh? And the first time I read it, I went, okay, I got to go back and read it again. And it's really very, very interesting. Is it one that you could, I never guess right, but I like to fancy myself a detective when I'm watching a mystery to try to figure out as I go along what's really happening. Do we have that element in the play as well? Does the audience feel like they're piecing it together, or are you mostly piecing together, where do I know that reference from? Or a little bit of both? A little bit of both. A little bit of both, because you're trying to figure out what happened and how it happened, and who the criminal is, and if there's a criminal. So it's really, there's interviews by different, we have, I think it's 6, Ron Potter plays 6 different parts, plus himself, so it's 7 parts he plays. And he interviews each person as a different character. And I'm sure, given that I do know about your background in costume design, and I've seen some of the incredible productions that you put on when you've been in part of costume, so I imagine the costumes are a bit of a character themselves in terms of bringing out the different... They're all the characters. The characters are there. You have to... He comes out as different characters, but you have to realize this man is a large man, and he plays a young girl at one point. He plays an old lady at one point. He plays a French detective. He plays a Miami Vice detective. What's always kind of beautiful about that, too, is realizing the extent of talent that we have right here in Charlotte County when it comes to not just people like yourself who direct and deal with the costumes, but the actors themselves. I've been to a number of your productions, and I'm always blown away, not just by how much I laugh and how much fun I have, but by the talent and the skills of the people on stage. Who are the actors that are a part of the St. Croix Theatre Company? Where do they come from? How do you find them, and how do they get involved? We do an audition. Well, we did an audition back in December for the parts. And the actors actually come from St. George, 2 from St. Andrews, and 5 from St. Stephen. And they're all very variety of people. There's some very young. There's one girl, and there's, two actors who have never acted before. It's a majority, it's fun because we're bringing in all the towns. We're trying to get all the towns in and have, a variety of things and variety of actors that haven't been seen before.
I really do want to stress that for people watching at home who maybe haven't had a chance to come out to one of your productions yet, just what an incredible job your organization does in giving people the opportunity to take their talent to the stage. So there is this beautiful mix of seasoned talent, and you do bring in new generation, younger too, but I've also been to productions where I've seen someone in retirement take up acting for the first time and do this standout job. But does the whole group nurture the person into what role they should be a part of? They
do, and they also have to, because it's stage, and you never know what's going to happen. And you never know when somebody's going to, screw up a line, and the line gets totally screwed up. And the other actors have to be able to jump in and fix the problem before anybody notices. Because, as you know, the audience doesn't have a script. We have the script. And they don't know that there is a problem. And seasoned actors are doing this all the time, where these actors are, they're amateur. And they do know to step in and help somebody along and move the play along.
And that is kind of the beautiful part about it too, is oftentimes I notice that the plays you put on reflect life in a small town often and highlight the really beautiful elements about that, but as does the production you put on. You see that companionship and that
friendship. It really bonds a whole friendship. I mean, we started in January to start reading, and what we do is the first few reads is we have table reads, and you just read the script and read the script and read the script before we even start doing the different sounds effects and different movements and all that kind of thing. And you have to have the script down packed before you start the different movements. Mm-hmm. And they start bonding and becoming friends. And then you find out that, after rehearsal, they're going for drinks and things like that, and they're talking and they're having fun, and a lot of these become lifelong friends. I mean, a couple of them have been friends since they were in St. Croix Theatre back in the 90s, and they've been friends since then.
How's it enriched your life? I know that you moved away for work for a long time. You're back home to New Brunswick, but what has it done for your life to be a part of this group?
It makes me, appreciate people that in a different way, and how much, they take time, the private time. Like we're rehearsing 2 days a week, from 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock. So that's personal times that they, are giving up. They're there studying their lines and studying their movements, and it's really interesting to see people give their all, and they're not getting paid. They're just doing it because they love doing it and they love theater. And
even more than that, when you bring in an element like this and you're doing it as a fundraiser for the library, you're doing a production for the community, by the community, but also in a lot of ways to save a part of the community, to enrich the community that we have.
And I mean, the libraries have asked us, what do you want us to do with the money? And we said, it's yours. We're going to give you the money. You decide what you're going to do with it. If it's programs, like after school programs, if it's, different educational programs, if you want to buy books or whatever, then it's free. It's, you're getting this money as freedom to do whatever you want with it.
What was it about the two libraries, the Ross Library here in St. Andrews and the St. Croix Library in St. Stephen, that made you think it's the time for a fundraiser for these two important institutions?
The libraries always need money for their fund. they always need funding because, you know, they have all these programs that they have to pay for and all these supplies that they have to buy. And they only have so much money to spend. This is like an insert of cash that they can spend any way they want to do what they need to do. So, and the idea was that the play is meant to be a benefit. We get away, we do not pay a fee for doing the play.
Right.
And the fee can be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 to do a play.
Okay.
That's
the copyright.
copyright. And we get the play for free.
Because of its ties to giving back to community.
To the libraries. And we wanted to do it in both communities because we feel that we're part of both communities. We're not St. Stephen. Our head office is St. Stephen, but we're the St. Croix Theatre Group, which is St. Croix is all of us.
And I mean, as an organization here at CHCO and the Courier, we feel that way too. We spend a lot of our time, we might have our main headquarters in St. Andrews, but we spend a lot of time in St. Stephen, a lot of time in St. George. Our contributors come from all the communities. And I think those groups like St. Croix Theatre Company are so key to tying us all together. How has it enriched your life to be a part of this group that, while you might be based in St. Stephen, ties you to all of the county?
You get to know more people from different areas, and you get to know, the community a bit better. You get to know, what's going on in the communities, because they bring in their, what's going on in their community, and you see things that you may want to go see a concert that's in St. George, or you want to go see something that's in St. Andrews, or see something in St. Stephen, because you've heard it through, people that you're working with.
And have you heard any feedback yet? Has anyone had the chance to witness a dress rehearsal, to give you any feedback on?
We've had a few people watch it and they laugh their heads off because it is really quite funny.
And I stress this again for anyone who hasn't seen your productions. I was telling you before the cameras rolled today how much fun I had at the last, and forgive me because the name is incredibly long, and I know that was part of the comedy aspect of your last play. It was this fishing derby.
Yeah.
That's what I'll call the play. Something fishing derby. There's a scene in it where it is about small town life, and you realize all the characters in the play had all taken harp lessons because one of the characters started offering in the community, and it really did reflect to me the community that we live in. When someone brings a skill or a business to the area, there's this outpouring of support, and in the most organic and natural of ways, all of our lives, it kind of happens by accident, but we all get enriched by embracing the new to our community. Is that what you look for when you're looking for a new production to put on?
Well, we have a mandate that we only do Canadian plays. We want to just do Canadian. We have a group that goes through a bunch of plays to find it. We haven't done a serious play for a while because we feel that everybody needs some comedy right now. Like, you need a good laugh.
It's very fair.
Life is too serious right now. We don't want to sit there and have a really heavy play. I mean, we've done in the past things like Michel Tremblay, and which can be, can be very heavy.
And that is honestly shows how connected you are to our community too, that that's what we're all kind of looking for and needing right now. I feel the same way here when we are in the middle of a very polarized climate, that our shows that are the escapes, the gardening show, that's what people are drawn to right now.
Oh yeah, anybody wants something that's easy, fun, not serious, doesn't have to bring you down any more than we are right now. And it, again, as I said, we do Canadian. We want to do only Canadian plays. And
what a time to have this Canadian mandate. That also fits in very nicely with the moment we are living in. Before we miss a beat on how people can come see the play. It starts in St. Stephen, opens April 25th, 26th, and 27th. So tell us a little bit. Is at the St. Stephen Middle School,
Right.
7 p.m. the 25th and 26th, and then there's the matinee
Right.
on the 27th at 2 p.m.
And then in St. Andrews, it's the 2nd and the 3rd at 7 p.m.
That's at the theater downstairs here at the W.C. O'Neill Arena Theater.
Right. And again at 2 o'clock on the 4th.
And for tickets, they're $20 each.
$20
and they're
each.
Available.
They can be bought at the door, but they're also available at Cockburn, the Chocolatier in St. Stephen, and OK Tire.
Okay. Anything else people should know before they come to opening night? If they aren't big readers, what should they come equipped with in terms of knowledge?
Just come in ready to laugh, because it is quite funny. I can't give you the whole characters because, I mean, there's one character it's absolutely hilarious.
What would be the age range of people in the play
Anybody
this time?
age.
Okay.
Our age range right now, people are, she is what, 21 to 60.
Okay. If there are people watching at home right now that I understand a lot of people will be interested in coming to the play, but if they want to get involved in the theater group, whether it be as actors, maybe directing, behind the scenes, how do they reach out?
We have a Facebook page. So, and we also put in that we're doing auditions, and we just do,
You've told me in the past, too, that your auditions sometimes draw someone who's never put their foot on a stage before that thinks maybe it's time I take this.
Two of the actors have never been on, no, 3 of the actors have never been on stage before.
In this play?
In this play. I mean, Chanel has been on the,
Chanel Gucci is one of my favorite local actors, so
And
I'm
she's
very
amazing.
excited. But tell me a little bit about that. When there are 3 people that are totally new to the stage, how do you make them comfortable and how do they feel ready?
They all work together. It's really quite, camaraderie of people working together. They bond together, and they help each other learn. I mean, we have one young guy who videotaped every single one of the actors reading their parts and then sent them to him. So Jeremy did this whole thing where he taped every single one and took out the part that they were playing and sent them all the other parts. So they can hear it on their headsets or on their, iPhone.
Practice?
To practice.
Wow. So you wouldn't even think to do that, but how smart is that?
Oh, yeah. Jeremy's is brilliant.
And what do you have in terms of feedback from the people that are a part of the production group that are new to it when it changes their lives? I mean, you don't always know when you sign up for something new in the community, and I love small towns because for that very reason, I will try something new here just because it's your friends and your neighbors encouraging you.
It's always something that some of them is because I've never done it before, and I've always wanted to try, and they come in, they try it, and they love it. They learn it. They have fun. And we make it fun. It has to be fun.
For you, Bert, I'm curious because you spent a lot of time, a lot of your years in the big city. And when you come home to New Brunswick and bring a production to the stage, the experience is different. It's very community driven, and you take that time to nurture new talent and to create something that didn't exist before too, that changes the community for the better. How has this changed you as a person to be involved with something that, yes, it's 2 hours of laughing when you come out, but it really does change lives and shape community? Well,
it makes you patient. Because sometimes you go, oh God, can somebody just remember this line? Like there's lines that seem to get screwed up all the time. And you go, come on. I mean, the last play that you were talking about, There was one line that was, it wasn't until the very last night that he got it right. And we all went, what? He got it right? What was that? Like, we all started laughing because we went, he said it the correct way.
It comes together.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because it's a theater production, right? So we're also laughing because we have one person who keeps wanting to say theater instead of library because it's supposed to be in a library. And he keeps saying, we're in the theater. And we go, no, it's a library. You're in a library.
But has it made you sort of appreciate, I guess, small town life in a way that, you know, when you first move home, you don't always see the inner workings of community? I know that when I first moved home, one of the first things I did was go to a play. And it was that moment that it crystallized for me how special it was that I was here, because I didn't know everyone yet. And yet it seemed like everyone really had a stake in the play, whether they were in the audience or on the stage, in a way that was way more meaningful than anything I had seen in Montreal or Toronto.
It's, well, you have actors who give their time and their energy. You have people working backstage. You have people working, selling tickets. You have people doing you see the community coming together to put something on, and no one's paid for this. It's all, free time. They're giving their time up. And in a big city, a lot of times you don't get that.
Very true. So when it comes to your next production, when do you start thinking about what you're going to do next?
We're already starting to. We're already starting to read plays.
So how long does it take you to decide what's next?
We read plays all summer, and then we decide on the next one, and then we usually have an audition in December.
So anyone that's at home right now and thinking maybe the next one is my time to shine,
yep,
it would be around December 2025 that they should look for.
Yeah, look in September, end of September, 1st of October, look at our website, and you can see when we're having auditions.
And you post on St. Croix Theatre Company for people that are social media pretty much only would be on the Facebook page as well. A great way to follow.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any final words today, Bert, that you would give to someone watching at home right now who's maybe not been to a play before? Those are the people.
Come out and enjoy yourself.
Yes.
Come out and enjoy yourself, because it is local. It is local talent. You'll be surprised how talented these people are, and how interesting it can be, and how much fun you can have.
And I can attest to the fun. It really is one of my favorite things is to go see a community production, because it really illuminates why we all live where we live.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Why we work together.
I can't wait to have you back next year when you have the next production on. I'm very excited to come see the play. I'm going to see it one of the first days when it's in St. Stephen. I look forward to it.
And I hope you enjoy yourself.
My guest today has been Bert Deveau, co-director of Murder by the Book, coming to St. Stephen April 25th to 27th, and in St. Andrews May 2nd to May 4th. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Thank you for watching Southwest Magazine.
Southwest Magazine is a news and public affairs production of CHCO Television.